Hey guys, it's Rose, and I'm going to be sharing some vegan tippery with you. And you're probably thinking, what is tippery? So I'm going to be giving you guys a few tips and tricks, or not tricks, but just tips on how to kind of get over the first few humps and bumps in the road as a vegan. If you're either thinking about going vegan, or if you just turned vegan, or just, a new vegan, I'm going to be giving you guys some tips to keep you going, or to just shove you in there into that whole vegan journey. So these are things that helped me early on in my vegan journey. I'm still a new vegan, but I feel as though I've transitioned smoothly into the whole veganism thing. So I'm going to share with you what helped me. So these are going to be 10 tips, and I'll keep looking down. I'm looking at my phone because I wrote them on here. Tip number 1 is educate yourself. So basically, find out why you want to go vegan. Find out as much as you could possibly find out about veganism, and also educate yourself on the main questions that people are going to ask you. Starting off with, so where do you get your protein? Because everybody is going to ask you, where are you going to get your protein? And, where are you going to get your omega-3s? And your vitamin B12? And they're going to ask you a ton of questions. So educate yourself. Look up what are the most frequent questions that vegans get asked. There's a ton of silly videos out there and all that. Find out those questions, educate yourself on those questions, because it's going to be a lot smoother for you when people start bugging you and saying all these ridiculous things to you. If you know the answer, it's going to go a lot better. Because if you don't know the answer, you're going to be like, yeah, I don't know. You're going to start doubting yourself, and that's never a good thing. Tip number 2, find yourself a few simple recipes. Just a few simple recipes to start off with. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with finding these crazy recipes that involve a trillion ingredients that you don't normally have around. You want to find a few recipes that are comforting to you, and that would go with the kind of stuff that you would normally like to eat, the flavors that you like. Don't, just because you're going to go vegan or just because you've just gone vegan doesn't mean you have to automatically start trying a bunch of new things. Stick with what's familiar with you. Stick with things that you normally like. Just find vegan alternative recipes and stick with those until you start getting more comfortable with your new diet. Tip number 3 is go gradually if you have to. Start gradually. Don't just become vegan overnight if you can't. If you feel like you can't go vegan overnight, not everyone does. If that's not something that you can do, that you feel like you can handle, if you think that it's not going to be a long-term thing, if you decide to go vegan overnight and then you're just going to be so overwhelmed that you're going to go back to, the usual diet that you would have beforehand, just start gradually. Take your time. Start cutting out things. Start cutting out a few different things, and then, in the next couple days you start cutting out a couple different things, a couple more different things, and then until you completely wean yourself off of the whole animal products and all that. If you can't do it as a whole, all in one shot, start off gradually. Don't overwhelm yourself. And tip number 4 goes with tip number 3. It's basically relax. So, again, with the whole starting gradually thing, if it's a better option for you, start gradually, relax. Don't take it too fast. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. This vegan journey, this is something that if you're really, deeply into it, this is a thing that's going to be for life, So just relax yourself. This is a way of life. It's not something that you want to be stressing over, because it's a big change. It's a life change. So take it easy, relax. Don't be too hard on yourself. Another thing is that goes with the whole relaxing thing is mistakes will happen. You will sometimes eat something that accidentally had something in it that wasn't vegan. I mean, it still happens to me, and I've been vegan for a few months now. I occasionally will eat something and then I'm like, oh goodness, this had this in it, and I didn't even realize it until I read the back really good, or I really dissected what I was eating, or sometimes things will just slip your mind. And try not to get yourself too worked up about it. Mistakes will happen. Just think about it and say, whoops, it happened. I didn't do it intentionally. And just go on about your day and just don't do it again. And that's also going to serve you as a learning experience. So next time you know better. Number 5, find yourself a community. Go onto Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. There are tons of different communities for vegans out there. There are forums, tons of different places. Whatever kind of social media you prefer, there will be a vegan community there. I found tons of different vegan communities. YouTube and Instagram are my favorites, and Instagram was my first kind of vegan community that I connected with so many different people, which is awesome. I love it. You get so much inspiration, and most of the people I've encountered on these vegan communities have been super, super nice and inspiring, and it's good to have someone, especially if you don't know anyone like in real life who is vegan. It's really nice to communicate with other people who can give you advice and kind of guide you a little through your journey. So find yourself a community. That's going to be really helpful. Number 6. This was huge for me because I am a huge snacker. Get familiar with vegan snacks and vegan candy. If you are a person who loves to snack, find yourself these vegan snacks, and especially those accidentally vegan snacks, because it's a lot of times stuff that you ate before going vegan and you just find out that they're vegan, like Oreos. I mean, Oreos are vegan, you guys. Oreos are vegan. And a ton of other like candy and chips and all that stuff. I'm going to put a link down below to my Halloween vegan candy video. I talk about a bunch of different candy that are vegan or accidentally vegan, which are like mainstream and whatnot. So you can check that out if you're interested. Also, like I said, just you need to find vegan snacks that are going to work for you. If you decide to go vegan and then you're craving a snack and you don't have anything, that's not going to be so good. Alright guys, so I had to take a quick break there in between because one of my little people ran and knocked down one of my lights and unfortunately broke it to bits. So if you're a nighttime snacker or an any time of the day snacker and you find that you need to snack on something but you just don't know what to snack on, chances are, if you don't have vegan alternatives or you're not familiar with any vegan snacks, you're probably going to end up going for snacks that are not vegan. So that's why I always say, find yourself some vegan snacks or vegan candy. You don't necessarily have to have them at home, but at least be familiar with which ones you like, and maybe keep 1 or 2 at home if you're a big snacker like I am. I am huge on chips. I always have to have chips around. Number 7 is one of the things that helped me big time while making the transition. I was one of those people who would say, not eating a burger was a deal breaker for me. I could leave everything else, but for some reason, burger for me was like, I love burgers. So I was like, I can't go vegan. I love burgers. That's why I did the whole flexitarian thing, because I wanted to have my burger once a week. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked now. So find recipes that are alternatives to the recipes that are your favorites. Like mine was the burgers, so I decided to like perfect the vegan burger. And I did that, and now whenever I crave a burger, I just hook up a nice little burger and eat it and stuff my face with it, and now I want to eat a burger, and maybe I'll make burgers for dinner. We'll see. Anywho, your favorite recipes, your favorite foods, find recipes that are vegan and make those, and trust me, it will help you a ton. Number 8 is get inspired and stay inspired. And what I mean by that is watch those documentaries. I have links below or names to all the different documentaries that I found to be like the greatest help and the most informative and all that kind of stuff. So find documentaries that most inspire you, and if you occasionally kind of forget why you are going on this journey and why you're taking this path, watch a few minutes clip of any of those documentaries that inspire you, and you will snap right back into it. And that's why I say, get inspired, find out, what is going on and why you're doing this, and stay inspired. If you have that occasional moment where you're like, I don't know if I can do this, go back, watch where you started, you know what I mean? Go back to where you started with those documentaries, take a little snip clip, and kind of like reset your mind. Why did I do this? Why am I doing this? Okay, this is why I'm doing this. I get it. Keep going. Get inspired. Stay inspired. Number 9 is something that not a lot of people realize. When you go vegan, you can still eat fast food. You're not going to be able to eat, you know, like a burger from McDonald's or something, or Burger King, even though Burger King has vegetarian burgers because their burgers are vegetarian, not vegan, FYI. But you still can have Taco Bell. I have a link below to my Taco Bell taste test. Love vegan Taco Bell food. Don't have it too often, but it is yummy. You can also do Chipotle. You can also do Wawa if you have Wawa nearby. There's just so many different options, like vegan options, that not a lot of people realize that you can still get fast food. You know, you're not stuck just eating food from home or a restaurant. If you're out and about and you have to get something fast, you still can. There's plenty of different like vegan options at like Chinese restaurants and ethnic restaurants. So keep that in mind. Look it up. Do your research. Just keep in mind that fast food is still within reach. And tip number 10 is enjoy your journey. And as cheesy as this sounds, this is something you're doing for yourself, for mankind, for the world, for the animals. You know, it's a huge thing that you're doing. A huge, beautiful, powerful, and really like selfless thing that you're doing. So keep that in mind and just enjoy it. Enjoy the fact that you're doing this for such an amazing purpose. And try not to, you know, get yourself too worked up about different things that might, you know, come across you and different things that you might, you know, encounter with people being rude or, you know, certain bumps in the road, stuff like that. So enjoy the ride because it is a beautiful one. And you're going to notice that you're going to just feel awesome, especially at the very, very beginning. You're going to notice like the difference between not feeling so great and then feeling awesome all the time. Then it kind of slows down. You don't feel as awesome anymore just because that awesome feeling becomes normal to you. But yeah, so it's an awesome thing that you're doing. So keep that in mind and enjoy it. You know, don't let anyone stomp on your happiness and your joy of doing something so amazing. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do so, and don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.